Well, 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 and ho, 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 2020 is just about in the rearview, so you know what that means. It is time for the year's recap of the McFitey Top 10. Let's start with the best of the best.
You fucking Soviet!
The McFighties have been battling it out this year, throwing knives, explosives, insults, and more. And while there was no glow-up to be seen, blow-up was a different story. There are honorable mentions to be had, some small, some big, some long range, some close. But for the biggest blow-up of all, there's only one choice. Early in 2020, when Lord Bumbleberry launched an orbital strike, just for shits and gigs, and ended up wiping out his entire crew. Whether they're capping fools on the main streets of Los Santos or the barren wasteland of Verdansk, it's not all that uncommon to see a long-distance kill come from the barrel of a McFighty's gun. This year, the J-Shot with this snipe sequence takes the cake, putting this guy to sleep while his pal's back was turned for half a second, icing him before he realized anything was wrong, and then le piece de resistance. 2 brains, 1 bullet. No matter what you're playing, whenever you fire up the Xbox One, you're going to see multiple glitchery-doos. Some games more than others.
Oh!
People appearing where they shouldn't, vehicles operating outside the laws of physics, dead bodies stopping by to say hello. But some glitches actually make a lot of sense, like the time Al found some cocaine staff tweaking hard. I mean, it's to be expected considering how the gang has them all working round the clock. There was a time when no one questioned Hootie's throwing knife dominance. And by no one, we clearly mean no one not named Lord Bumbleberry. The summer of 2020 truly was the summer of throwing knives, and the Big Hoot was determined to stay at the top of the food chain. Now, when a new challenger emerged in Skrilla Thrilla, the two put on a clinic aimed at securing bragging rights. When all that did was bring up more questions, the first ever McFitey Throwing Knife World Championship was born. And the buzzer beater finish that saw their blades cross in the air, leaving no clear winner, meant the answers would have to come another day. Yes, at one point, Sideshow Al revived J-Shot, using nothing more than his mouth. And basically, everything Hootie does is worthy of an OnlyFans account. But what could be sexier than Zach pledging his love for cars by jumping on top of one and going to town while going into town? No, that music wasn't added in. It plays on its own anytime something this sexy happens, which isn't often because, wow, that is sexy. And now for the worst of the worst. Whatever the setting, the McFighties have often been known to find the nearest ramp and try to kiss the sky. There's been countless flips, spins, boosts, blasts, and booms. And most of the time they look pretty cool getting their air on. But sometimes they go up, and before they come down, they make sure to embarrass themselves first. Like when the J-Shot took a rampant rocket for a rip, and then did whatever the hell this is. Grand Theft Auto, Call of Duty, what's the one thing they have in common? That's right, parachutes. A safe and effective way to get from the sky to the ground. Not unlike hitting the ramps, most of the time they end up sticking the landing, but sometimes not so much. This year, the biggest parachute shit show goes to Skrilla Thrilla, who dusted off his party boy suit and went into a free fall for just a little too long, baby. And yes, it was a very different year, but when it comes to trashing yourself in-game, things were pretty much the same. Could we really pick the worst wipeout? And stuff like this happened literally all the time? Feel free to cast your ballot, but in true 2020 fashion, the election is already rigged. So without further delay, these are your worst wipeouts, deadliest deaths of the year. Enjoy.